Hi everybody and welcome back to Twilight Princess HD, and this is the final episode of Twilight Princess HD because we have now ascended to the very top of Hyrule Castle for a showdown with the evil king himself. So let's not dawdle around here, let's head right on in to the throne room. It's a bit drafty in this throne room. Well, you should probably close the windows or something. Alright, you can't. Welcome to my castle. So you're Ganondorf. I've been dying to meet you. Your people have long amused me, Midna, to defy the gods with such petty magic, only to be cast aside. How very pathetic. Pathetic as they were, though, they served me well. Their anguish was my nourishment. Their hatred bled across the void and awakened me. I drew deep of it and grew strong again. Your people had some skill, to be sure, but they lacked true power. The kind of absolute power that those chosen by the gods wield. He who wields such power would make a suitable king for this world, don't you think? Ha! Such conceit! But if you are one of the chosen wielders of power, as you claim, I will risk everything to deny you. Shadow has been moved by light, it seems. How amusing. Very well. Deny me then. Yes, try to deny me, you and your little friend. Both of you faithless fools who would dare to take arms against the King of Light and Shadow. So you choose, and so you shall feel my wrath. Alright, here begins the Ganon fight. But first, we have Zelda, technically possessed by Ganon, so yeah, it's still technically Ganondorf. So she has 3 attacks, and I'm hopefully going to be able to show them all off. The first one is to play, the standard game included in many Zelda boss fights of Dead Man's Volley, and that is the only way that you can damage Zelda in this fight. By the way, just want to quickly head over to this corner and break open this one single pot, because there is a fairy inside. Just wanted to acknowledge that that's there, and I don't know whether I'll use the fairy in the long run, but yep, there is a fairy there nonetheless. Good if you're out of health. And that's another one of her attacks. She tries to impale you with the sword she has. A little rapier thing. No, I love the music that plays in this boss fight. Oh, and here's her final attack. She lights up a triangle on the ground, and if you don't get out of the way in time, it'll just blow up underneath you and you'll go flying through the air. So yeah, that's all three of her attacks, but now we just have to wait for this one single attack, this energy ball. Don't think you can deflect this with the shield attack. I'm sort of willing to try it, I guess. Let me give it a shot. No, it just goes off at some kind of angle. That's rather unfortunate. It's weird. You know, when we first got the shield attack, you mentioned that you could deflect attacks with it, energy-based attacks. But alas, apparently not these ones, these specific attacks. So let's continue up this game. And let's not even try and use our shield. Although, make sure that you have to time it right. It does gradually speed up. So, yeah. And once you stun her with her an electric ball, you don't need to do anything else. Like in Ocarina of Time, once you played Dead Man's Volley, you shot him with a light arrow and then you had to wail on him with your sword for a bit. But no, not this time. I'm sure when she does that like dive bombing animation with her sword, she can like turn around when she's behind you and then attack you again. No, not that time. Yeah, I've seen it before happening, but not this time, unfortunately. I can't get to shut it off. Come on, do that energy ball. This is just a whole lot of waiting. Also, ow. Oh, that's great. Didn't mean to take damage there. I should have rolled the other way, to be honest. I didn't really pay attention to what I was doing there. Come on, there's the energy ball. Okay, let's go. Gotta focus a little bit because it does get a little bit quicker and quicker as it goes on. And don't hold down the sword button for too long. Otherwise you'll accidentally ready a spin attack and you don't really want to be doing that. Anyway, welcome to the second phase. This is honestly quite a long boss fight. This is Ganon in his like true beast / pig form that has been in several Zelda games. Hang on, is he going to do his thing? He's going to charge towards us. I don't know whether you can shoot him in the head with an arrow there. I think the way you're meant to deal with this boss fight is when he disappears into a portal, transform into Wolf Link, and keep your eyes to where the portal ends up. Over there. Just keep watching where it's going. Might be quite difficult. And when it goes purple, you can target him, and then you're supposed to hit the A button to grab hold of him, but I guess I was slightly off center. Was that the problem there? I don't know. That's what you're meant to do, is just stand in front of him, and then just like we did with the goats in Orden Village and the Gorons rolling down Death Mountain. Oh, okay, so now the prompt comes up. It didn't come up before, so it must have been just a misalignment thing. That's an unfortunate amount of damage I took there. So we throw him over and expose his weak underbelly, and then we just slash away at it. Probably gnaw at it as Wolf Link as well, but I think the Master Sword would do more damage. That's just its general thing that it does. There is one thing I want to show off with this phase. Also, it's got weird chanting music. Oh, this is sort of what I want to show off. I'm too close. Okay, gonna charge? Yep. And let's tap. I wanted to show that you can fall from the ceiling sometimes, and you have to pay attention to the ground, because a shadow will appear above you. Much like the the War Masters in previous Zelda games. Didn't appear in this game though. Back away so we don't get trampled as he runs past me. That would be rather unfortunate. And he disappears again. So he has got a glowing spot on his forehead, but I don't believe you can actually do anything with that. I'm going to try shooting an arrow at him, but in my previous attempts I know that if you try and shoot him with an arrow as he comes through, he'll just jump up into the air like that and disappear. And that's when he appears above you, okay, yeah. And then you can't really do anything else, you just run away again. So yeah, it's weird, he's one of the few Zelda enemies where the glowing point on his forehead is not his weak spot, which is a bit strange, to be honest. I just wanted to acknowledge that you can't really use Human Link to deal with this. And where's the portal gone? Where's the portal gone? Where is he? Oh, there. Okay, I'm on the right. I'm in his line of sight. I'm sort of trying to get right in his direction now. And a few more Master Sword swings should be enough to deal with this. Let's swing it around for another 4 hits or so, and there we go. Princess, I... Say nothing, Midna. Your heart and mine were as one, however briefly. Such suffering you have endured. Spirits of the light, wielders of great power that shine far and wide upon the lands of our world. In my hour of need, grant me the light to banish evil. Jack. Chosen hero. Lend us the last of your power. I'll try to slow Ganondorf with my light arrows. You target him and keep him within range of my arrows. Alright, on to the other phase, and now Ganondorf will fight us directly in his human form. Watch out for the, spirits. Also, that hurt. I was honestly trying to swerve out the way, but alas, I was not fast enough. So it can be quite tricky not to do. You need to, run away to begin with and sort of get behind him. If you... Okay, opponent's not cooperating with me today. So I need to be running in the same direction as him, but behind him. So when he comes up... Where's he gone? Where's he gone? Oh, there he is. Let's run away for a bit. I need to, get around him. I'll just go around in a big circle. No! Okay, opponent, cooperate, please. I want to just take a tighter circle. I don't want to, keep running around in circles for a bit. So this is probably the trickiest phase, because it's another horseback battle. Watch out for the spirits. And now let's target Ganondorf. As we run behind him, give him a quick shot, and then that allows us to catch up to him. And then we can get a few hits on him. Or just one, apparently, because I suck at horseback riding. Don't you know? And as long as you keep targeting him, Zelda will keep shooting him with light arrows. So it can be a bit time consuming if you only get one hit on him at a time, but just keep him in your sights. Maybe I should be trying to do spin attacks to get more damage off at once. Oh, Zelda! What a crapshoot you are! Shoot! Okay, and yeah, there's the spirits, the weird horsemen that he summons. Also, I stunned him still. Apparently, he's electrified off in the distance and still running away. So I don't really want him to face towards me, because then we'll just go into a joust, and we always lose in the joust apparently. Where's he gone again? Okay, he's running alongside. Let's get a target on. I'm going to start swerving, so I can't really hit him. He's finally fighting us in his human form. For some reason we go through his beast form first. I'm not sure how that worked, but alas, there we go. Human form, on horseback, is down. Also, apparently he killed Minda. I forgot to acknowledge that, but yes, that is an important thing. An impressive-looking blade, but nothing more. Would you hear my desire to take this foul blade and use it to blot out the light forever? Alright, Dark Lord Ganondorf. Here is our final phase of the boss. Finally fighting him as a human form. And we need to clash with him. When the prompt comes up, hit the A button to clash with him, and then overpower him by mashing the A button. Yes, that is pretty much it. Just mash, mash, mash. And you'll overpower him eventually. Should probably show off a few more of his techniques that he has, as well as the little Easter egg, of course. So, I thought it was quite interesting how many different phases there are to this boss fight, and 3 of them sort of acknowledge the new things in Twilight Princess, like horseback combat we just did there. This is the one-on-one combat using a bunch of hidden skills that we've learnt throughout the game. You can probably do the back slice. I don't think Hem Splitter works. Whoa, that was a 2-hit combo apparently. And of course Dark Beast Ganon is like beast form. We fought as Wolf Link, and Wolf Link is obviously one of the things in this game. And I need to mash a little bit faster apparently. I'm a bit low on health. Let's cut you down. And one more of those should be enough. Before he's dead, let's bring out the fishing rod and like wave it around for a bit. Because with a few Zelda bosses, final bosses even, there's a little Easter egg where you bring out a certain item and it sort of mesmerises the boss for some reason. And oh no, okay, he snapped out of it. And oh, going into the final chance, here we go. He's got an attack where he jumps up and then jumps down behind you in like a spinning motion. I don't think we'll get to see that because we cut him down one more time and then he falls flat on his back, and it was the first hidden skill we learned, but here comes the death blow. Do not think this ends here. The history of light and shadow will be written in blood. What? Say something. Am I so beautiful that you have no words left? Can't believe those words just came out of my mouth, to be honest, but there we go. That is the end of the game, and that is Midna has returned to her true form. And so, Twilight Princess comes to a close, and it's been quite a long journey for me, my longest playthrough I've done so far. And to be honest, I kind of want to shrink them down from this point onwards. I didn't realise quite how long this game would be until actually like planning it out, and then it wound up at something like 50 plus episodes, and I was like, that's maybe I didn't plan it properly, I don't know. But yeah, that's the end of the game. I'll talk a little bit about the. There's a few more details that I want to cover, but I'll talk about them after the credits are over, because it's quite a nice credit sequence. And there's a bit of this music that gives me goosebumps. It's when the main theme of Twilight Princess plays. Not the first time around, it's a little bit mellow first time. But yes, that's the end. Oh god. I'll talk a little bit about the final boss, Ganondorf. So he doesn't show up for a lot of the game, but then he shows up around the 4th dungeon after completing that. But maybe you don't expect him to be the main villain after all, I don't know. I thought maybe that might have been like a bit of backstory. I know people are a bit disappointed with Ganondorf just being thrown in at the end as the final boss. They sort of expected Zant to be the main villain, but maybe felt like Ganondorf was a bit shoehorned in, possibly. I don't know. I quite like the twist at the end that Ganondorf was behind it all along. And Twilight Princess was quite an early Zelda game for me, so I wasn't. I don't think I'd played Ocarina of Time before this, and a lot of people do compare Ocarina of Time to Twilight Princess, or the other way around actually it should be, because they do have a similar story structure in terms of like dungeon progression. But yeah, I hadn't played Ocarina of Time at this point, so I didn't really have anything to compare it to, and Ganondorf being the main villain at the end did sort of take me a little bit by surprise. It was a nice little touch for me, but I can understand why fans of the series might have been a bit disappointed that we didn't get an original villain as the main villain. We got Ganondorf again. And also the final boss, despite being split into several phases, some people, I think myself included also, think that the final couple of phases are a bit anticlimactic. Particularly the one-on-one sword fight with him is a bit too easy, considering all the techniques we have at our disposal, and the fact that you only need to like clash with him 3 times, knock him down, and then finish him up. Yeah, it does seem a little bit overly easy, I must say. And also the set piece, just being in Hyrule Field, a bit bland as well. Although I understand it for the horseback phase, but for the final one-on-one fight with him, we're just trapped inside this force field in the middle of Hyrule Field, rather than going back to Hyrule Castle or something like that. I do understand people's complaints with the final boss, and just a little bit simple. But yes, that is the end. I keep saying this is the end because I need to like drill it into my brain that we're through. It's been a long time coming, and we did it. And but there's still bonus episodes to do, as I've promised before. We've still got the Cave of Shadows, the final set of floors on that to do. I'll probably put that up within the next week. I'm going to sort of space things out a bit from here on out. I've been doing 3 episodes a week, but maybe just a weekly episode for these final few bonus episodes. And I want to go and cover the fishing hole again, because I don't feel like I did a pretty thorough job the first time we were there. I will return to the fishing hole, maybe catch all the fish, fill up my fish journal, and I'll also do an episode on the little mini game inside the fishing hole. Roll goal! Look forward to that. That might be a little bit amusing, if a little bit frustrating from my end. Because yes, roll goal is a little bit tricky, but I do feel the need to show off, so I'll do an episode on that as well. Well, I guess this is farewell, huh? Light and shadow can't mix, as we all know. But never forget there's another world bound to this one. Shadow and light are two sides of the same coin. One cannot exist without the other. I know now the reason the goddesses left the Mirror of Twilight in this world. They left it because it was their design that we should meet. Yes, that is what I believe. Zelda, your words are kind and your heart is true. If all in Hyrule are like you, then maybe you'll do all right. Thank you. Well, the princess spoke truly. As long as that mirror's around, we could meet again. Jack. See you later. Dude, don't shatter the mirror when there are people around. You'll get shards of glass in their eye. You'll just pelt them with shards of glass. How disrespectful. But yes, we say a goodbye to Midna at this point, for good. She breaks the Mirror of Twilight completely and utterly shatters it behind her. And clearly she doesn't want to see us again. No, it's more like she doesn't think that we can see each other again. I understand her reasoning behind it, to be honest. It's just so the two worlds can't interconnect again and prevent a similar tragedy to Ganondorf entering into the Twilight Realm and becoming Xant's god. Just preventing the whole thing from happening all over again. Breaking the Mirror of Twilight. Even though it's quite sad to say goodbye at that point. So we got a couple of sets of credits. If you're paying attention to the story in the background, it's us returning to Auden Village, and yep, all the children are going back home, and I think maybe we put the Master Sword back in its pedestal. I don't really remember seeing that, but yes. So I'll talk a little bit more after the credits are finished about there's a few minor little details that I want to point out. So. Ah, there's the Master Sword scene, so we do put it back in the end. I was wondering. I think I jumped the gun a bit there. I thought it was in the first set of credits, but no. And only at the end of Twilight Princess HD we get extra credits for Tantalus Media, who adapted the game for the Wii U. So yeah, it just throws another music track in, and in fact this music track was used in one of the original trailers for the game, if I recall correctly. So yeah, it's a bit strange they brought it back here. But yes, here is the HD exclusive credits. It just scrolls by. It's a pretty bland black background, but I guess they didn't add any more scenes in to to make it like the original set of credits. Nope, we just get this traditional white on black credits scrolling sequence. So yeah. So time to talk a little bit about the game itself, because I haven't really voiced my opinion on it. I have said before that it is probably one of my favourite Zelda games, and I would put it below... my favourite Zelda games are Majora's Mask and Wind Waker, and I put it below those two. And I originally thought that it was probably my third favourite Zelda game, but I know it sounds weird, but having played it through while voicing commentary on it, I think my opinion on it has gone down a little bit. Playing through it, maybe it's just because I played through it so many times, I don't know. But I feel like it's started to grate on me a little tiny bit. There are a few little tiny things that I've picked up on throughout the whole game that have more annoyed me or frustrated me than my previous run-throughs of the game, and I've noticed, particularly with the early dungeons of the game, in the first half of the game, that it is quite slow. I did feel like it does pick up during the second half, but I guess that is the general consensus on this game, is that the first bit is generally quite slow. And the HD version I don't really feel added too much to it. It's pretty much just upscaled textures, and there are a few minor little additions that don't really add too much to the gameplay. But yes, that's Twilight Princess over and done with. Sorry if that sounds like a bit of a negative opinion after playing through the whole game on this channel. I still do enjoy it. I will say that I still do enjoy playing the game. Obviously, I wouldn't have played through it all if I didn't, and I'd have stopped midway through, although I've never done that for a playthrough yet. Yeah, I just feel like it has started to grate on me a little bit. And considering Breath of the Wild came out while I was playing through this game on this channel, it sort of blew me away. Breath of the Wild did, and I started to compare the two. I didn't do too much comparison actually during the playthrough, but I will say that Breath of the Wild is miles above this game. I will say that I do prefer this game over Ocarina of Time, and I know that's a bit controversial, but I did play this game before Ocarina of Time, and I understand that there's a nostalgia thing there. Like, most people see Twilight Princess being an upgraded version of Ocarina of Time in terms of structure, but because I played Twilight Princess before Ocarina of Time, I see it the other way around. I'm not really a huge fan of Ocarina of Time, because this game is it's my game. This is the game that I grew up with. I can't remember what age I was when this game came out, probably 14 or so, I think. But yeah, this is probably the Zelda game that I've played the most, so it makes sense for me to have a fondness for it, despite the fact that I can see this game's flaws. Yeah, it's still my top 5 Zelda games, but I'm going to demote it a little bit because of Breath of the Wild, and I do feel like it started to like wear me down a little bit, this game. I might change my opinion like a little whiles after playing through this game on this channel. It might just be because I've done things in like a very structured way in terms of my schedule. But yeah, I just wanted to voice my opinions on this game a little bit. Anyway, back to the title screen, and I wanted to point a few things out. Okay, first of all, the 50th stamp that we got in the last episode is Twilight Midna. It's Midna's true form. And you can obviously get that before finishing the final boss of the game. So yeah, I feel like it's a bit weird if you are going for 100% on your first run and you end up unlocking the 50th stamp. You've essentially spoiled Midna's reveal for yourself, Midna's true form. Although, having said that, in the HD version, well, on the box art of the HD version, it does have Twilight Midna already on there, which I feel is a bit strange. And also it has Ganondorf on there. So yeah, they sort of spoil a few of the characters on the box for the HD version only, which I feel is a bit of a shame, because the original box art was it's plain, but it worked. It showed what the game was about. It was regular Link and Wolf Link, and transition between the two, light and shadow, as they mentioned in the Twilight Midna cutscene during the credits there. Cannot mix, and yeah, they got sort of the duality of man, as you might say. But yeah, regular Link and Wolf Link. But in the HD version, I think it changed per region, but both the covers do have the same problem. I think one of them, I can't remember if it's the European cover or the North American cover. But yeah, it used the same sort of design as the original version with the split down the middle, but they throw a bunch of characters in there, and I feel like that makes the box art a bit cluttered, and it also spoils a few characters if you haven't played the game already. Having said that, it is a 10-plus-year-old game, so I guess spoilers are somewhat inevitable. And also Ganondorf's design is of course used in the Smash Brothers series. The most recent ones are Brawl and Smash 4. But yeah, it's still a bit of a strange choice putting such late game characters on the front of the game. Just my opinion, I thought that was a bit strange. It makes the box art seem very cluttered. And also, I need to acknowledge coming back to the quest log screen here. This is my most recent save file. If I boot it up again, it will put me at the start of Hyrule Castle. Make sure that you save before going and fighting Ganondorf. That's just my advice, because the game does not auto-save once you beat the final boss. So if you haven't saved, if you take Hyrule Castle all in one go and go straight into Ganondorf after collecting everything in Hyrule Castle and beat Ganondorf, and it will take you back to the title screen. When you next reload your game, it's going to be where you last auto-saved, which is just after finishing the Path of Twilight. So you're going to lose a lot of progress. That's a pretty bad game decision in my opinion, the fact that it doesn't like save at the end of the game. And you're going to lose a lot of progress if you're not aware of that. So yeah, make sure that you save at least at one point during Hyrule Castle so that you're not redoing a whole lot, because yeah, the game just apparently doesn't tell you that it's not going to save. Yeah, that's a bit of a outdated bit of game design, I feel. It did the same thing in the N64 games as well, I think. Maybe just Ocarina of Time, I can't remember. But yeah, there was a notorious thing there as well. But yeah, that's just something that I wanted to acknowledge right at the very end. So, that's everything for now in Twilight Princess HD. Of course, we still have some bonus episodes to do, as I mentioned during the credits, and those will go up probably hopefully within the next month or so. I hope to take a little bit of a break after this project, but I don't really know how long that's going to last at this point. But yep, I will see you in the bonus episodes, or if not, I will see you in a future project somewhere down the line. So I will see you then. Goodbye for now.